Hey everyone, and welcome to r/chill, where we look at some of the best stories on the internet, and honestly, it doesn't get better than r/entitled-parents. Today, we'll be looking at some of the funniest stories I have ever seen of entitled mums harassing Pokemon goers, poor old receptionists, and soldiers on flights back home. So grab a coffee, put on your seatbelt, and get prepared to enjoy the ride. Eeehm tries to force me to date her son. The backstory. So there's this really trashy and entitled kid at my school, who we'll call EK. EK liked me, and he once asked me out, but of course I rejected him due to his horrible attitude and his disgusting appearance. He then got all offended, but I didn't care. Now for the story. I was chilling at the local park when I see Eeehm and EK. She walks up to me and says, "So why don't you date my son?" "Excuse me?" "You heard me." "Because I don't want to?" "Well, you have to." "No, I won't." She then tries to grab my arm, but I manage to push her away and say, "Whoa, get your dirty paws off me." I was pretty mad. How dare you try to grab me, you crazy old hag?" "You see, my son is too good for you anyway. He's amazing." If he was so amazing, he wouldn't need his mother to get him a girlfriend. Oh, what a roast. EK's probably just sitting there, burnt to a crisp. Eeem's jaw dropped, and EK was very embarrassed, and he took off and Eeehm followed. I haven't seen Eeehm ever again, and EK switched schools, so I guess the story has a happy ending. Wow, this girl got him good. To think of a burn like that on the spot. Wow. And he switched school afterwards as well, so he must have had real trouble finding a girlfriend here. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that first story. It was great fun, but there are plenty more to come. But could you quickly go down and hit that like button? It's something that really helps my channel get discovered, but I won't waste another second, and let's keep going with the video. Eeehm is furious about Pokemon Go. And as an avid Pokemon Go player, I literally play every day, I can tell you that most people are okay with it, but you do get the occasional funny look. So the other night, I decided to go to a local lake and walk around and play some Pokemon Go. There's dozens of Pokestops around the lake and quite a few gyms too, so it's a prime location to play. Also, I'm 22 and I went with a friend who's 28. It was a quiet night, not a whole lot of people walking around. We approach a park and shelter area and notice there's a raid about to start. So we sit at the shelter area to play. I'm not sure how to explain this if you're unfamiliar with the game. We happened to be the only people there, and across the trail was a park with a few kids and a mum barely paying attention. We're sitting there waiting for the raid to start for about 5 minutes when this mum comes over to us. "Can I ask what you're doing here?" "We're playing Pokemon Go. Why?" "Well, it's pretty creepy. You two adults are just sitting here near the park. You need to leave." "What? We're minding our own business. Maybe you should too." "You're making me and my children uncomfortable. I don't know what Pokemon Go is, but it sounds like an excuse to watch my kids." "Well, we'll only be here for like 10 more minutes, lady. We aren't watching your kids." "Ridiculous." She then storms back over to the park and sits on the phone with someone. About 3 minutes later, she grabs her kids and comes over again, yelling at us that now her kids can't enjoy the park because us creeps want to kidnap them. She also explained to her kids, who both looked to be younger than 10, that they had to leave because we were going to hurt them. I was baffled and didn't know what to say. It's a public trail, public park, public shelter, and a lot of days there are dozens of adults playing Pokemon Go. It was so strange. What annoys me about this story is how overprotective the mum's being and how it's completely pointless. Like, look, these people were enjoying the park, your kids were enjoying the park, and you had to go and make up stories about them watching your kids. If you don't want your kids to get watched, then go to the old forest down 300 kilometers from where you live. Your kids will definitely not get watched though. Maybe they'll get killed though. Nah, it'll be all good. Entitled mum misses her kid's appointment because she was too busy watching TV. I'm an optician. An optician is basically a person who fits and makes glasses. The cast is Eeehm the mum, NK the nice kid, T is the vision tech, and FD the front desk receptionist. I'm mostly watching in the sidelines for this one, but I figured y'all would appreciate the story anyway. Eeehm and NK come in and check in. They were a smidge early for their appointment, 15 minutes or so, and after they checked in, they sat down. NK was quietly playing something on an iPad. For those of you unfamiliar with waiting rooms, we have TVs where they play something for the patients to watch. But I'm pretty sure most people would be pretty familiar with a waiting room. Just sorry, had to add that. For us, it's nature shows, so there doesn't need to be sound, just pretty fish swimming around. Eeehm, for the most part, is watching the TV, totally enamored at the sharks. Soon enough, 15 minutes pass by and Eeehm gets called. Eeehm? Eeehm last name? Eeehm keeps watching the TV. T and I make eye contact and I nudge towards Eeehm. T shrugs and calls her name again, then retreats. 5 minutes later, T tries again, and this time Nice Kid pokes his mum and whispers to her. Eeehm shushes the kid and continues watching TV. T retreats again and tries another 5 minutes later, this time walking up to her. Excuse me, mum, are you Eeehm? Eeehm annoyed. Yes, what do you want? We're ready for you to come back for NK's appointment. Can't you see we're busy? Come back later. Ma'am, your appointment was booked 15 minutes ago. It's not my appointment, it's my son's. It's okay, mummy, I can go myself. Nonsense, we want to watch the fishies. Ma'am, we have the same show in the waiting room. Leave us alone, I will tell you when we're ready. That's not how appointments work. I don't care, I will stay here and watch my show. T and I make eye contact again, and I shrug and go back to writing emails. T sighs and makes her way to the back of the office, probably to ask the office manager what to do. 10 minutes later, T comes out and talks with her again. Ma'am, if your son doesn't come in for his appointment, you'll need to reschedule. This show is always on and you won't miss anything. Eeehm, ignoring T completely. Look, NK, dolphins. Ma'am, Ooh, look at that splash. Your appointment. Wow, NK, look at that. Okay. T walks out and other patients get called. Now this lady literally kept watching the 2-hour special. And finally, after the credits rolled, she walks up to the desk. At this point, I had gone to lunch and come back and she was still there. Okay, we're ready now. Sorry, for what? NK's appointment. Ma'am, you were checked in over 2 hours ago. Your appointment is already finished. That's ridiculous. We never went back. T called you 5 times, well past your appointment time. Well, we were watching the fishies on your TV. I understand that, ma'am, but your appointment was at 10 a.m. It's now noon. You'll have to reschedule. That's trash. We've been here waiting. It's not my fault that you had a good show on. Ma'am, as much as we appreciate feedback on the shows we have in the waiting rooms, you missed your appointment. I might be able to squeeze you in for a 3 p.m. if you're able to come back. No, we will be seen now. Mommy, the lady told you. Be quiet, NK. The grown-ups are talking. I'm sorry, Mom. Other than rescheduling you, the doctor will not be able to see you today. We were watching the show. I understand, but you missed your appointment, so we'll need to reschedule you. It's not for me, it's for him, jabbing her finger at the little boy. Then we'll have to reschedule him for his eye appointment. You people are ridiculous. If you don't want people watching TV, don't have them on. I apologize for having entertainment in the waiting room. Can I reschedule you for the next available appointment? Eeehm turned bright red and threw her hands up in the air and stormed off without her kid. The poor kid stood there for a few moments before running after his mum. I went over and congratulated FD for her unyielding patience. Hey, what's the problem with a 3 p.m. appointment? You could just watch the whole show again. And what gets me is that the kid was like, Mum, I'm gonna go alone, it's fine. And his mum just sat him down and forced him to watch the show. I would bang my head against a wall if I had a suitable wall nearby, but unfortunately, I'll just have to resort to venting on YouTube. Eeehm demands first-class upgrade. This all happened back in 2013, and I just came across this subreddit yesterday. Me, just a 20-year-old punk. Eeehm is the entitled mother. FA is the really chill flight attendant. Can I just mention here, flight attendants would probably be the most chill people in existence. Like, to be a flight attendant, you need to have nerves of steel. I had just got back from Afghanistan about a week ago and was heading home on my post-deployment leave to surprise my father. He didn't know I was back. When I got to the check-in counter, the lady told me that my flight was delayed due to mechanical issues, and they were trying to find a new plane for the flight. This is important later. 4 hours later, I'm boarding my flight. Now, the original plane did not have a first-class row, but the new plane did, and no one was seated in them. As a veteran, they allowed me and a few others to board the flight first. Once seated, I put my headphones in and waited for the flight to depart. After the flight was loaded, the flight attendant came on the speaker to tell everyone that the flight had the entire first-class section open, and they would select seats at random to give people 3 upgrades for the flight. This is where everyone starts to ask for the upgrade, some even getting belligerent, demanding an upgrade. I didn't mind my seat and honestly did not expect to get selected for the upgrade. But as the lady was going around listening to people bugging her for an upgrade, she came up to me. "Excuse me, sir, would you like to be upgraded to first class?" "Really? That would be great. I've never sat in first class before." "Well, it's your lucky day. Grab your carry-on and I'll show you your new seat." As I'm collecting my belongings, the passenger behind my seat went hysterical. "What makes him so special that you gave him the upgrade?" "Ma'am, the selection was random and his seat was selected." "That's BS. He already got to enter the plane before me and my daughter, even though I was Zone A. How much more does he need?" "Ma'am, I'm sorry, it was random." Me to the attendant. "It's okay, I can sit in my normal seat and she can have the upgrade." "My daughter needs an upgrade too then. Just give her a random upgrade too." "Ma'am, the seats have already been selected. I can't remove someone else for your daughter. You'll have to stay in your seat." At this point, the flight attendant took me to the first class seat, and I sat down. She asked me if I wanted anything to drink and that everything was complimentary. So I ordered a beer and bag of chips and put my headphones in to enjoy my one and only time in first class. Fast forward to being in the air. An hour has gone by and I'm asleep when I feel someone tapping me on the shoulder. I wake up and it's the crazy passenger from before. "I'll take your seat now." Well, I'm already settled and the flight attendant already told you no." "Okay, how about you get out of the seat right now? I'm a mother, so give it to me." Me, agitated at this point. "Well, all due respect, no, I'm not going to stay here." After that, Eeehm leaves and I put my headphones back in. A few minutes later, Eeehm returns and pulls my headphones out of my head. "You're going to give me the seat." She then grabs my phone and Kindle off of the tray and stands up. Now I'm furious because she just yanked my headphones off and took my belongings. So I get the flight attendant's attention and explain what's going on. "Ma'am, please return to your seat. I don't want this to escalate any further." "This is effing ridiculous. Just because he's a soldier doesn't mean he should get his icy pole licked by everyone." I'm a Marine, by the way. Eeehm then threw my belongings on my lap pretty hard, but I just sat there quietly until she went back to her seat. I apologized to the flight attendant for all the trouble, and she told me situations like this is why they never really give 3 upgrades during a flight. The rest of the flight went normal, and I was able to surprise my dad. Oh, and an edit. My cousin actually recorded me surprising my dad, one of the few times I've ever seen him cry. Wow, I love this guy's username, the goodest dude, and he did offer this woman a seat. If she had just taken that seat, she could have taken turns sitting it with her daughter, and they could have both experienced first class. Honestly, stop being so entitled, and maybe you'll actually get some good stuff happen to you. Alright guys, thanks for chilling with me. That's all I've got for today, but don't worry, subscribe to the channel for Reddit videos every second day on subreddits just like this one, and also make sure to go down in the comments below and share your own stories. I would love to read them. But for now guys, that's it from me. I hope you all enjoyed, and all I want to do is see you all here next time. See you later guys.